This is a PowerPoint that's on Blackboard. It's one of the last links in this fractions tab, and it's talking about least common multiples, or least common denominators. So that's one of the things that I talked about in the last video. I thought I'd go over this PowerPoint with you just so that you have an idea before you come to class, so that when you come to class we can show some examples, talk about how to do it. Might speed up the process a little bit. So the product, answer to a multiplication problem. So that's just simple review. Again, we have a product of 56 here. A multiple is the product of a whole number multiplied times any other whole number. So multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42. So 6 times 1, 6 times 2, 6 times 3, 6 times 4, 6 times 5, 6 times 6, 6 times 7. So multiples, when you're multiplying the number by another. Okay? So the product of a whole number multiplied times any other whole number. And again, this is on Blackboard, so you can review this. So multiples of 5. 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times 3 is 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. If I did 7, same thing, 7 times 1, 7 times 2, 7 times 3, 7 times 4, 7 times 5, and so on. Okay, I think you get that. I have multiples of 4 here, multiples of 9. I'm not going to go through all of those. But here's where I want to really concentrate is we have common multiples, a number that is a multiple of 2 or more numbers. So some multiples of 3 and 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, and 42. How do we get those numbers? The easiest way to do it is to start with your numbers. So I have 3 and 6, and I'm going to list the multiples of those. I'm just going to adjust the camera a little bit so that you can see my writing. Okay, so 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 is 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, and so on. Okay, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, and I'm going to stop there. I'm going to do 27 and 30 here. Okay, so common multiples are ones that show up in both lists. So 12, 6, we have 24, we have 18, and we have 30 that are common. Those are in both of those lists, multiples of 3, multiples of 6. When it asks for the least common multiple, you're going to look at the smallest number that they have in common. So for instance, this one would be 6, would be the least common multiple. Okay? I'm just going to erase that, and we'll look at something else here quick. So if we have common multiples of 2 and 8, again, if I wrote the multiples of 2 out, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, I'm going to change colors because it's getting, whoa, it's getting dark. Sorry, my bad. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. If I do the same for 8, I get 8, 16, 24, 32, and I'm going to stop there. Okay. Again, 8s are in common, 16 is common, 24, if I went one more, would be common as well. Okay? And you know that any number, any even number, is going to be a multiple of 2 because 2 divides into any even number evenly. So there's no remainders left over. Again, if I was looking for the least common multiple, 8 would be the least common multiple because it's the least, the smallest number that they have in common. Okay, so we'll move on. We have common multiples of 4 and 6. So again, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and so on. And then I would do the same for 6, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, and so on. Here's 3 and 7. So if I was going to do this, I would have 3, 7, okay, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, and so on. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42. If I look at common multiples, I can see that 21 and 21 work. Okay, I can see that 42 and 42 work. Okay, another really easy way to find a common multiple is you could take those two numbers and multiply them together, and you know that you're going to get a common multiple. Because 3 times 7 equals 21, and that's in our list. Okay? And if I go back a slide, okay, 4 times 6 is 24, it's in our list. 2 times 8 is 16, it's also in our list. So that's an easy way if you're looking for a common multiple. Okay, 5 and 10, okay, skip counting by 5 is really quite easy, and 10 is even easier yet. So you know the ones that end in 0 are going to be common amongst both of those. This is what I just got done talking about. The least common multiple is the smallest common multiple of a set of 2 or more numbers. So again, they wrote it out just like I did, much neater, obviously. And then they've circled the least common multiple in those 2 sets. Just going to adjust the camera a little bit there. Again, 3 and 8 did the same thing we did. Okay, I'm going to go through this a little quicker. Again, 4 and 8, 6 and 8, 4 and 10, 3 and 9, okay, if you're looking for multiples to make common denominators, you're going to do the same thing. So if I have 1/5 and 1/10, and it doesn't even matter if I'm adding whatever I'm doing with those fractions, if I'm comparing them, it's easier if they have common denominators. So what I want to do is I want to find a common multiple that those denominators have in common. So 1/5, I'm going to take the denominator here, and I'm going to write out the multiples of 5. And for this fraction, I'm going to write out the multiples of 10. And ultimately, I want to find the least common multiple, but really any multiple would work. So here I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 10, 20, 30. So I know that 10 and 10 work. This is already 10, so I don't need to do anything with it. It already has a denominator of 10. The top one I need to make the denominator 10 so that they have common denominators. So what I'm going to do is, to get to 10, I need to know how do I get from 5 to 10? Well, I have to multiply by 2. So if I multiply the bottom by 2, I need to multiply the top by 2. And when I do that, I get 2/10. Now when I compare these two fractions, it's really easy to see which one is greater and which is less than the other. 1 is obviously less than 2. So 1/10 is less than 2/10, or 2/10 is greater than 1/10. Okay? So that's how common multiples and comparing fractions and adding fractions, it all comes together at this point. Okay, and this is what I just showed you.